Hey everyone, episode 164. I had Steve from Brothers and Others podcast and good old Tez from Blue Abroad in. We commiserated on where Carlton is right now, what we see for the rest of the season, and what needs to change in regards to the club, the squad, the mentality, and everything, really. Yeah, I can't even tell you to enjoy it. It's really it's depressing. If you want to have a good laugh and you're not a Carlton supporter, by all means, listen. If you're a Carlton supporter, then grab the tissues and maybe grab a bottle of Jack or something, just to numb the pain.
There are improvement works ahead, so this train will terminate at the next station.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
Oh, you're so serious.
Take me outside. How about that?
Are you Muslim?
He should have been slapped as a child. He's a spoiled little Greek brat who's probably been treated like a prince.
I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
You also had people.
When did he go? Lucky you lost the audio. He went last year, didn't he? He wasn't there last year.
No, he left last year. But that's what the conversation was. That Chera would be a good pickup, but we don't need him because we already have players like Chera.
That was before round one last year.
Yeah.
Fuck, was it that long ago?
Because we just picked up Hewitt. That's why I remember it. I didn't know who Hewitt was, and you guys said, he's already a gun. Like, he's already, like, tried and true. Like, you don't need to test him. He's the goods. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, that makes me comfortable. That's what I remember. And SBS.
That's true. We're right. There. Now he's our best player.
You reckon?
Yeah. Chera?
Oh, Chera. I thought you meant about fucking Hewitt. I was worried. All right. I was thinking about this, how the fuck this was all going to start, and I got it. This is literally the only way to start this off. Right? I'm serious. No. Legit. This is 100%.
It's the Undertaker music.
This is literally the only way to start it, boys. Like, I'm sorry, but... There you go.
Did I ever tell you what the definition of insanity is? Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy. But the first time somebody told me that, I don't know, I thought they were bullshitting me, so boom, I shot him. The thing is, he was right. And then I started seeing it everywhere I looked, all these fucking pricks. Everywhere I looked, doing the exact same fucking thing. Over and over and over and over and over again. Thinking, this time, he's gonna be different. No, please. This time, he's gonna be different. I'm sorry. I don't like the way you are looking at me. Okay? You have a fucking problem in your head. Do you think I'm bullshitting you? Do you think I'm lying? Fuck you! Okay? Fuck you! It's okay, man. I'm gonna chill, man. I'm gonna chill. The thing is, alright? The thing is, I killed you once already. And it's not like I am fucking crazy. It's okay. It's like water under the bridge. Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
That is us. Yeah?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, fuck you! No. That is us right now. Dude, I watched this monologue about 2 weeks ago for the first time in ages. And I was just thinking, I don't just connect to the fact that we're insane, but he's like, don't look at me. Why are you looking at me? And he starts losing it. I'm remembering the last time I went to a game at like the G or Etihad, and someone was looking at me because I was wearing my scarf. I'm just like, why are you looking? I wanted to turn around and lose it. Like, what are you looking at me for, man? Because it was the Melbourne game. It was the first time I wore my colours to a game in a year. I know. I felt like the biggest idiot. And I turned around and this girl in like a D's jumper was like laughing and just smiling at me. I'm just like, what are you looking at, man? I turned around and just like, relax, dickhead, calm down.
This is all going to go sour, but let's... it's all going south. But let's start on a happy note. Congrats to 10K subscribers,
yes.
Tezzy.
100%.
Pretty cool, man.
Thank you.
That is, no shit. I watched that last night and I was like smiling on the couch.
Yeah, it's good.
But I got depressed because I was thinking, this is for Carlton Football Club. He got 10,000 subs.
I know.
And this is how they repay him.
We were in the bottom 4 when I started. We're in the bottom 4 right now, 5 years later. Thank you, boys. It's good to be here. It really is. As soon as I walked in the door, I'm like,
Happy place.
Dude, I said it to you. Oh, what game did we'd lost? It was one of the first games I didn't go to this season that I could have gone to. It wasn't the Doggies game because I was there. Was I at the Doggies game? I can't remember. I was on my couch and I was watching fan cams and you looked like ropeable but just lost. And you had like this, you looked paled out, like you'd lost like blood. And I texted him and I said, dude, you look like a hostage like a hostage video. Because you had the year before and you were wearing a blazer with like your scarf and you were up and at him and you were like pumped and your face was all colourful and shit. You look like 6 years younger.
man, I've aged like miserably.
Wasn't the Sydney one, was it, when you went over for Sydney?
Maybe it was Sydney.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it could have been.
I remember getting the text during the fan cams and smiling at the text.
I can't. Dude, honestly, I will say, like, building on what Steve just said, I will say the only saving grace with the Carlton Football Club is Blue Abroad. Right now, it's all I've got left.
Thank you.
The best Carlton group out there.
Only reason I watch
Don't want to blow
games
smoke
now,
up your ass, but
No, I'm
We
dead
will.
set. I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
I'm dead set honest. The only motivation I have to watch games now is to be able to actually interact on Blue Abroad.
Yeah, actually feel a part of something.
Yeah.
Because what we're watching right now, it's so disconnected, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Disconnected.
Yeah. Wow.
I was
What was your prediction pre-season? What did you think?
5th.
Yeah.
5th to 6th. I think I said a home final. I think it was 13 wins.
Yeah, it was probably the same.
I said inside the 8, but not like top.
Yeah.
I said we'd win enough to get in, a few decent runs, but not nothing to shout about.
My only tip so far that's looking right is Port second.
Yeah. Love Port.
Maybe we should just talk about other teams tonight.
I think it's time to move, honestly. Hello and welcome to Gold Coast Abroad.
Let's put all the teams in a hat except Carlton.
Yeah. Like, as we record this, we've lost 6 in a row. Did we lose more than 6 in a row with Bolton? I know we lost 6
His
in a
record
row.
was horrendous.
Yeah.
I was looking at the win ratios last night and it was just disgusting.
Yeah, but you look at the team you had.
Yeah. Well,
Is it worse then or worse now?
Worse then.
no, you know what? It's worse now because of the list that we have and the money and the focus and the complete teardown and the bullshit belief that they built. We had no faith when Bolton was around.
Yeah, we kind of knew we were going to struggle. So I was like, if we can get a good quarter in, or if we...
That was an awkward bounce. That's what I remember. I remember us being shit, but I remember us not really expecting much. Just like, all right, we'll see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
we were along for the ride. Like, we had embraced the plan, the journey, the 5-year plan, and yeah.
Yeah, and then, but the rebuild, and I mean, dude, nearly 90,000 members. 90,000 members. And we're playing the worst footy we've seen in 2 decades. And that's honestly, that was my first sticking point. And all the little, I feel like the last 3 weeks, 3 weeks especially, I feel like every Carlton fan's just miserable and everyone's just turning inward, just blowing up over anything. What can we blow up over next? Is it the coach? Is it the fans? Is it this? Is it that? The second someone said the fans need to be nicer and have more support and la la la, I said, get fucked. Turn it up, man. 90,000 supporters.
Paid up.
Paid up. And you go to those games, like I sat boundary in my mates' members' seats, one of the last games I'd gone to, it's freaking empty, some of the seats, you know what I mean? But people are still paying for these seats not to turn up, just to support the club. That's when I started thinking. I asked this question, I'm going to ask you guys, I asked my mate this question last night. What do you reckon would send a bigger message to the Carlton Football Club, right? Lack of memberships or lack of audience? As in, not paying, re-upping for a membership next year, or re-up, even if you re-up or not, just not going to games.
What's going to send more of a message?
Yeah.
Well, I guess members. Well, I mean both. Like it's...
No. Which one would have more of an effect on you? If you were a player...
Think attendance. Because let's just say the membership dips next year, right? They'll always find a way and a mechanism in which to get a free membership, sign up now, get one, buy one, get one free.
Well, that's what they're doing now. It's like you pay $1 and you get guarantee next year. Or something
I think
like
it's
that.
it's the actual presence.
Yeah.
Like I know this week we've got the Suns on Sunday, and I know texts have come through already like $24 off level 2 reserve or level 1 reserve seats. Like I think they know it's not going to be a big crowd.
I'm not going. I was saying to Steve before, I've planned to... Oh, I said this to you weeks ago. I went to... It was I went to the Melbourne game because I bought tickets for that well in advance. And the last game I'd physically gone to before that, I don't think it was Doggies. Who did we play after that?
Maybe Brisbane?
I think Brisbane I didn't go. Maybe it was Doggies. That was my last game.
What do I have, like Saints, Dogs, Sydney, Brizzy? I don't know the order now, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of these, like one of those teams. I missed like 2 weeks, and I watched 2 weeks from the couch. And I actively said, I can't do this anymore. Sitting in the seats for 4 quarters, I got a bad knee. By the third quarter, it's seizing up. Like I'm in physical pain. And I'm getting up to stretch him and walk, and I'm ending up buying like a beer or some food or something just because you're there. And I'm going home, I'm out $70. What have I paid for? My tram ticket in. I've walked home and I've bought a pie and a couple beers and bought around or whatever. Like,
and you've watched a train wreck.
Yeah. And I'm like, I should, and you know what I honestly said? I said, I should just stay at home, bought a pizza, and then pumped the rest of it into Blue Abroad during the fan camps because I get more enjoyment. I'm actually focused. I wasn't lying, dude. When I sent you that text and I said I literally was playing with my phone for the first half, I've done that now for 3 weeks in a row. I don't do it at the game anymore because I don't go to the game.
You just know. You see, like, you just wait for the first 60 seconds to play out.
Yeah.
And that first mistake happens, or that first miss kick, or the errant handball, and you're like, oh, all right, well, it's going to be this again.
It's a miss kick, turnover, into forward 50 goal. And we're like, oh, all right, well, maybe let's not get too excited. And then it's like, okay, from D50 into forward entry, it's like, all right, maybe, and then behind or out in the full. I'm just like, right.
My only saving grace at the moment, not saving grace, but you have to cling on to, like, because the future's coming, right? We're going to be watching forever.
Yeah.
My only thing that I'm thinking at the moment, I don't know where you guys sit with, like, sack Voss or don't sack Voss or stick by him.
I think stick.
Same, is that we've been in this situation before in that big rut. Bolton, he got the sack. Teague, he got the sack. All the external review happened, but that was a sacking, essentially. Are we going to do this again? And the players are going to get that scapegoat and that pressure release again? Like, or is this just going to be the making of them where it's like, no, boys, it's on you. You have to figure it out.
Well, let's divide it, right? Because this is the other thing. Everyone's sort of doing the same shit right now. Like in all the content I'm seeing online, everyone's sort of mulling over the same questions over and over again. And it always comes back to what can we do better as fans? And I'm over it. The accountability is not there. All right, everyone's calling for Voss's head. Did you guys read the comments, like in the footy pages on Facey?
Oh, dude, that's a dark place. Facebook.
It's shit.
It's a dark place.
Every time I don't have Facey like for social accounts. It's just the pod and like my business and stuff. But I use the pod account to follow Carlton pages like an idiot. You think like, of all the things I can follow,
the only content you see?
Yeah, the only content is rabid Carlton fans.
Oh, man.
And the amount of them are saying stupid shit like sack Voss, sack Cripps, trade like Walsh, and like, what are you people talking about, man? Like, are you on drugs? But that's what I keep saying, that they all go back to Voss, and they keep saying we should have gotten Ross Lyon. I'm like, right. How many flags has Ross Lyon won across 3 teams? None. So why are we all running to Ross Lyon? And it then just gets argumentative. You know what I mean? So I said, all right, well, let's look at it clinically, right? Is Voss the problem? Honestly.
No.
It's like you're looking for the Last Supper.
What's his job? What's his job?
To coach the players.
To build a game plan.
Yeah.
To give the players an opportunity to win a game.
Yeah. Did you see, was it King's comments?
No.
I think it was Dave. Yeah, I think it was King's. Hang on, I'll find him. Keep talking, man.
So I think we actually have a game plan that gives us opportunities to do something good. But, like, how can you actually execute on a game plan when your players are turning the ball over with what look to be fundamental skill errors? Like, how do you coach that?
David King's comment on SEN, I saved this. What he created, Vossi, and his job, in my opinion, is to create the method and the opportunity to win the game of footy. And in the end, whether you like it or not, Michael Voss created a team that won 17 more contested possessions, won 3 more around the ground clearances, and 15 more inside 50s than their opponents. I don't know what more you can do than that as a coach to give your team the opportunity to win.
Well, that's the thing. It's coming down to execution. We're not kicking goals. We're having, like, our second quarter on the weekend was, like, as good as you can get. But we fucking missed all the goals. And we went in we dominated. We should have been 4 or 5 goals up. And we went in 4 point down. Like, we dominated. With 2 Coleman medalists in the fucking forward line.
Oh, you know what kills me? 2 Coleman medalists. Lewis Young in the goal square. Jack Martin in the goal square.
Yeah. And it's like 28 points at halftime, 17 points at halftime. How can you be satisfied with that, man?
Well, 3 goals, 10 on the weekend. Like,
How?
that's the fucking game right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's a tackle count.
That was the other thing, right? So accountability. I was talking to I was going nuts on, like, the DMs over the last week, man, with, like, everyone talking Carlton. Oh, I was with Joe from Almost Blues Brothers, yeah? And he was talking about him playing futsal, like, in a league that he has to pay to play in, right? And I said, yeah, and it reminded me of a story I want to tell you guys, yeah? Accountability as a player. I remember 2017 or 2016, I think it was 2016, I was playing futsal in a league out in Knoxfield, and my mate the captain went away on holidays, so he put me in as interim captain and, like, money handler. You know what I mean? Like, veggie fucking leagues, man, but it was fun, right? And I called up a mate of mine to come in and pinch it because we were short players. So this guy comes in, sport background, so he can adapt, and we lose the first week, we lose the second week, we're in the middle of the third, and we're losing, 3-1 or something by half time, some shitty score. And he looked pretty, like, deflated because, like, I've called the guy in to pinch hit and he just looks deflated because it's like we're just getting pumped. He's like, man, like, keep doing this every week. I'm like, I looked at him and that's what I said to Joe. I looked at my mate. I said, all right, man, I got this. Fuck this shit. Okay, this isn't going to happen. So I took it on, right? Straight off the bat, first touch, I do a run and, like, kick a goal, right? And just get, like, G'd up. I start screaming at all my mates, like, yeah, come on. You know what I mean? Everyone's laughing. Go for second one, right? I just smash this ball in from, like, outside of the box. Yeah, like a crazy goal. And, like, the bench is all quietened up. And I've, like, run back and I've got my finger on my lips, like, shh. You know what I mean? I've come back to the middle. I've looked at my mate again. He's laughing. First touch, I go, you know what? One more? Okay, we'll do one more. Again, stupid, like, run, kicked it in. And I've come back just genuine up because you're fucked, man. Like, he started laughing and we got into the game after that, right? I think I came off the bench. I had a near goal after that. I think I leveled it or something. And then I came off and I think we lost by, like, a goal. But off my own boot, I just flicked the switch and said, fuck this. Like, we're not losing this, man. Not today. And I got us back in within, like, you know, the grace. That's called accountability. That's like, you're not playing fucking well. Wake up.
Yeah.
You can do better. Get yourself into the game. And I did. And I'm a shit cunt paying to play out in Knoxfield. What's the lowest contract any Carlton player would be on?
150 grand or something, maybe.
150 grand. Yeah? To play football, right? And then I thought about something you've said, and you've said to me before as well, right? You said it on the 10,000 sub ep that you just did, right? Mm. You said that you weren't an overly talented person going through, like, school and growing up, but you were a hard worker and you just applied yourself 100% to whatever you do. And the proof of that is everything you've done with the Blue Abroad channel, right? As a starting point. Forget your professional life. Forget your legal shit. Forget anything else you've done in your life. Look at Blue Abroad, right? That is incredible. Like, that's an accolade in itself. Like, that's for the CV. That's for the pool room. and you said it yourself. You weren't overly talented in anything particular, but you were willing to apply yourself and work your balls off. You said it about Kerno once, about how he's got a tagger role. He's not the most talented footballer, but he's managed to stay relevant and find his place in the lineup just because he works his balls off as a tagger, which is his role, and he just applies himself. What can you say about any of the team right now as far as accountability goes? When you got a tackle count of what? What was the last game?
33. 6 in the third quarter there.
I tackle more people going to Woolies, man.
That third quarter, we were witches' hats.
Have you seen the score worm? Can you get up the score worm?
Score worm?
They were going, I don't know if it was at their 4th or 5th goal. They were going
to our website.
8 possessions a goal.
It's grim.
It's grim.
Go to the matches. Wait till you see this. It's fucked.
It's grim.
It literally says everything.
I feel like we need to play like the Undertaker theme, like in the background. All right, what's the date today? Today is the 18th, so these are the old... Okay, so these are the right matches. Carlton...
is it round 14?
Go round 13.
Score worm, so go to timeline.
Okay, timeline.
Look at this.
Fuck!
Look at those number of goals, start of the third. Just bang, 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 bang.
Like I said, they were going 8 possessions a goal.
Someone wrote a comment during the fan cams and like, there was an Essendon supporter. He made a $5 donation and he's like, thanks for the red carpet into the corridor in the third quarter.
I remember that.
How can you sit there as a supporter and it's so obvious? Fucking block the corridor. That's what they're just swinging into the corridor every time. Like, fucking get someone in there.
This is where I struggle because I'm like, some days I'm like, it's got to be coaching. The other days I'm like, well, these players are just unaccountable to themselves, and that effort indicator of the tackle count, it's kind of been there all year. They've been, to be fair to them, they've applied themselves. They've been shit, haven't executed. Whereas this one against Essendon,
you're seeing players literally not chase a man.
Yeah.
It's like, who's on him? Okay, he's meant to be on him. He doesn't even reach out to stop the bloke. He just watches him jog past.
Yeah. It's like the chicken and the egg, because you need to have a healthy environment so you're playing with less stress so you can play your best football. And then when it's not going your way, that stress compounds. And for us, it probably just compounds more than most because we've got big expectations from club, players, fans, media, everything. The pile-on becomes... Now it's at a point where they're so far deep into the hole. Like, where's the positive environment to let them de-stress? And then they're just full of anxiety on the field.
Mm. Look, the one thing I don't like is going too far into selection, and strategy and shit. It's like, we're not coaches, we're not there, we don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. But the one thing I will hold people accountable for is effort, 100%.
Yep.
And like the Kerno argument, if you're not the best footballer off the boot, then apply yourself to every other element of the game to win yourself the opportunity to win. So tackle the fucking ball, get the ball back, create opportunity. If you can't kick straight, then at least go hard on the fucking man that you're meant to be following, so you can at least win the ball back and create an extra opportunity to go forward again. When you see him not running, when you see him doing jack shit and then just limp off the field, it's just like, mate, what are you getting paid for? If the minimum salary is $150K, what the fuck are you getting paid for? And that's why, dude, that's why I told you to shut the fuck up last week.
Oh, what?
When I pointed out, who the fuck was on that podcast? Was it Motlop and someone else? They went to talk about their shoes or some shit.
No, I didn't listen. I don't know.
Someone sent me a screenshot of I'm pretty sure it was Motlop.
Mm.
And they'd gone to do a podcast on some bullshit. And I'm like, I can't be fucked with this. And you said, they're allowed to have their interests out, so they're only human. I said, no, fuck them.
Well, that stuff doesn't bother me. If people are they're allowed to do stuff outside of footy.
When you're playing that horrendous, you should be in the fucking gym training. You should be on the track kicking at a fucking thing. You should be doing anything other than media appearances, man.
Let us talk about the game.
Your job is to kick the ball. I'd be ashamed to show myself out if I was doing that badly at my job. I wouldn't be doing podcasts in my... man, I do them in my free time and I pay for it because this is what I can do. Not these cunts. Dude, I was at, what game was it? When someone said to me, I can't remember what game it was, and someone said, did you hear Harry's podcast the other week? I went, what podcast? Oh, he's got a podcast now with his brother.
Ben and Harry, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, why? I go, what do they talk about? Oh, I don't know, footy, fishing, golf. I'm like, he hasn't kicked a goal in like weeks. Like, what do you mean?
But so what's he supposed to do? Just sit at home and fucking cry? Like what?
Go to the gym. Get on a field.
But they do. They're doing that every day.
So keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's the Kobe mentality, man.
Yeah, I don't agree. So I mean, if you have a bad day at work, like you should.
If I have a bad day at work, if I had a bad day at work, the last thing I'd be doing is on a podcast talking about the golf.
Yeah.
Especially if I was getting paid near $1 million a year.
Yeah, I just don't agree.
Nah, sorry.
We seem to be paying for our past mistakes over and over again. And I think the reality for me that's kicked in is whatever was put in place when they started at the club, like this main group, say 2015, 16 onwards, whatever development investment was put into them was incorrect because now the compound effect has taken place and we've just realised their skills haven't improved. And we back then thought, it's okay, they're young, they're teenagers, their bodies haven't grown, they need 3, 4, 5, 6 pre-seasons, they need 80 to 100 games. They're there now. Harry's about to play his 100th game. And the fundamentals that I think you would expect them to get under wraps at the start of their careers didn't happen in the right way. And now it's like, we've got to go back again.
I've been saying that since the start. You know the group that we went to the footy with? My mates? Yeah, I was saying to every game, I'm like, why aren't they laying the fundamentals? It's the fucking fundamentals. And they kept bagging me for it, like laughing, like, even the fundamentals. It's the fundamentals.
Man, they're killing us.
Yeah.
The fundamentals are actually killing us now. Being able to kick on your left with your left foot, left-handed handballs. Surely they're practicing that.
Last year, were we that bad?
I think last year, well, no, because we played with confidence. We got off to a good start. We played with energy, and then once you find your confidence, it's there. Whereas this year, they have trouble generating confidence and starting momentum. It's almost like if we don't start the season well, we know the pressure's going to come and that it's too much. And then once the finals is out of the question, the pressure's off.
See, I don't feel like the pressure should be off. You should be playing for your job by that point.
There's a lot of uncontracted players in there.
17.
A lot of them.
17. Yeah. I've got the list here. Do you want to go through?
17, 30.
I've got the list here.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got the list here. I made a list. I made a list of the uncontracted players, and then I made a list of the liabilities with question marks on them.
Well, let's go buy or sell then.
Buy or sell?
Yeah.
So, deal or no deal.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with an easy. Honey.
No deal.
Get rid of him? Yeah, okay.
With respectfully.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been getting a game this year. He didn't look fit and then was getting a game.
Yeah. As in, you can probably find a draftee that can do what he does.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, here's one for Steve. Plowman.
Oh, fucking lock him in, mate. 5 years.
Boot deal. You know what I mean? The one that Kuda was on.
Yeah, name on the locker. Sell, mate. Fucking hell.
A bag of chips and a Powerade.
It was funny on the weekend, though, that he kicked. Was it on the weekend? He kicked
he kicked the
week before the VFL.
winning goal.
Fuck, that was a good goal, too, but it's the best thing he's done in 15 years.
Yeah.
If he's like your 38th player on your list, you need depth.
Yeah.
So that's where I struggle with Lockie, because sometimes I'm like, you can find a kid that can do what he can, but also, like if he's in your bottom 6 players on your list, durability wise, plays in the VFL for the most part, then
I'd agree with that.
I can kind of wear it. You do need senior players on a list.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
It's just if you're starting round 1 with him,
you're in trouble.
We did start round 1 with him.
Did we?
Yeah. Was it this year?
Definitely last year.
Last year, 100%. Remember, he came up to us and he handed us the ball, the kid in front of us. That was the funniest shit ever.
Oh, yeah. Played like every fucking game.
Yeah, he played every game. Yeah. But he made the same mistakes he was making then as he does now. Nothing's different. All right. McGovern.
I really don't know. He does some good things. He does some good things.
Look at me like that, man, don't. I actually like seeing him laugh, man, because I feel like we've got him out of that hostage situation, like at home.
Haven't got the straight jacket on.
Yeah. I can actually get you like just to breathe a bit.
McGovern.
Yeah, I'll take it. Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay. Okay.
But the question is you got to also remember, do these people want to stay? Do you reckon McGovern wants to stay?
Look, other than West Coast, I don't know who would give him a contract.
St Kilda.
He wants to go to Adelaide, I think.
Back to Adelaide.
As in the state, like whether he plays for Port or for Adelaide.
Really?
McGovern's just unfortunately been a bad contract.
Yeah.
Like if we're talking output for what we invested, it's not worked out. So unless he's willing to take less...
Oh, you have to.
Then...
Would he? How old's McGovern?
He'd be like
27, 28.
Okay, so not... Yeah, these are his peak years, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
To his credit, I think he's played 12 games in a row now.
Yeah.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, I think something like that.
Wow. Cunningham.
Yeah, I'd say keep. Yeah, I'd keep. 1 year.
Minimum 1 year deal.
Yeah.
Human.
I think he's been alright.
I think he just signed a deal.
Yeah, I think he's been
Did he
good.
sign it?
2 years.
Okay.
I think he's been pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I think he's been okay.
He started really well this year.
Yeah.
Then he lost his head a bit, started giving away those free kicks and 50-metre penalties and...
Did he get injured or suspended? Injured.
Injured.
Yeah, hamstring. He's back this week.
Yep.
Marchbank.
If he doesn't play, then he's got to go. He can't stay on the list. How many games has he played? In fucking 8 years or something?
Well, it's the last three names you've read out, this is the issue. Like, you hold on because you know what they could be.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, what have you been? So where do you make that cut? I don't know. Like, the idea of a fit Marchbank is awesome.
Yeah.
But...
Well, that return game last year,
Yeah.
fuck, was good.
Yeah.
And then didn't play again because soreness.
General soreness.
Same again. He's played VFL and then he was out sore last week, right?
General soreness is the most soft cock excuse for an injury on the planet.
Cooked. Body is cooked.
Two of those three, I would say you can't rely on them for next year.
No.
Can't go into the season with all three of them. And Martin, you're going to say shortly, I think, you know.
Yeah. Dow.
Still doing laps of Princess Park. Voss has still got him doing infinite laps, like a Spartan race. Just laps of Princess
Special teams
Park.
go do laps.
He's not invited to training anymore.
Look, I've never been that sold on him, to be honest.
It makes a statement, though, when he comes out and does more in a quarter, 2 quarters of footy than...
Yeah, but he's fucking fresh, so he should.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Yeah.
Half of these boys were fresh and they did jack shit.
I'll give him credit because he hasn't really been given a chance this year. He's clearly on the outside.
Yeah.
He could have really just coasted through the year and not given a shit, not played well and not actually...
Yeah.
And the way he played, I mean, I know he's a sub, so he's fresh. 3 tackles, which was more than, I think, 80% of what the team had.
But he was fresh, but then what was the rest of the team doing? They were fresh when they stepped on the field.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I think he needs a block.
Yeah.
Like, the season's fucked. Give him a month in and see. But I don't know. His mind may be made up and he might be going anyway. Like,
That's what I mean. Do you reckon he would even want to stay after the shit that he's...
probably not.
But then you got to ask, why is it that players like Dow don't get a chance in? Compared to, Plowman, who kept getting called up every fucking week. Even Lockie O'Brien, man.
Yeah. Well,
they didn't have pressure on their spots. O'Brien's now finally got young Hollands in the team, Akers is in the team, Cottrell's there. Plowman were just back pocket players. We didn't have too many of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Kemp.
What do you think, Dow? Keep or?
No.
Yeah.
Dow, gone.
I think he's already on the outer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of outer, Fisher's wants to apparently fuck off as well.
He can fuck off.
Did my boy Fish like that?
I've had it with Fish.
Well, he's fallen into that.
Had it with Fish.
He's fallen into that category like a lot of them. They've been moved in their position Fisher's now like this half forward. Now they're playing him across half back in the VFL. It's like he probably doesn't know what his role is.
Okay, well, you just brought perfect tie into the next name, JSOS.
You're going to kill Bambi?
I can't.
No, it's a big call, but it's the kind of call that you kind of need to make. No, I love Jack.
I agree.
I do love Jack, but he's even lost his fire.
Because, and this, I can't remember who I lost it at the other day, and they said, "Oh, you got to get rid of Sauce. He's he can't fucking ruck, la la." I said, "He's not meant to be a fucking ruckman."
Yeah, be grateful that he's rucking. You guys played footy? You played footy?
Yeah.
You played in the ruck ever?
Yeah, I did.
I was an undersized ruck.
Yeah, I was.
It is when you are not the size of a ruckman and you are throwing your body into ruckman, it is torture.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's like he shouldn't be in the ruck. Yeah, that's because the list management has kind of stuffed it up,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's been moved across more positions than Jenna Jameson has, man. And right?
Good way of putting it.
Well, it's the truth, man. And then people are like, "Oh, he can't ruck, blah, blah, blah. He's behind Pitto, he's behind TDK even." I'm like, but he's not a fucking ruckman. He's got thrown in because we had no one else. Ask Cripps to ruck. You reckon he's going to ruck?
All started because fucking Sean Grigg won a flag as a second ruckman. That's where every team started doing this shit.
Ask Cripps to ruck. Is he going to do it? Until you get fucked.
Might be part of the problem.
Ooh. Well. Look at the face.
I'm listening.
Oh, so am I.
No, I just find it really...
You have my attention.
I just find it really curious that when Murphy was going through this period of his life and his career, everyone was happy to whip him. Can't talk about Cripps. Not allowed to hold him accountable. Not allowed. It's like sacrosanct. Oh, but he put his body on the line for the club.
The Brownlow medalist.
So did Murphy.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Murphy can't pick up his child above his shoulders anymore because he's had that many surgeries.
He was treated like shit.
Is Cripps okay? And if he's not, to do the job, that's okay. Just focus on being a great player. Maybe the captaincy's too much. But, who can we rely on if it's not Patrick Cripps? He wins the Brownlow, it was awesome. Is that it? Does that mean...
Well, he's got his medals. What else does he want other than a flag and a Coleman? Not a Coleman, a Norm Smith.
The Cripps talk's fascinating. You are not allowed to say a word about him because people take it as if you're personally insulting him. No, I'm just holding him to his own standard. He's a great player. Now, where was this for Murphy?
That's why I keep bringing up the Jack argument. People whip the fuck out of him. It's like, mate, you won't find a more heart and soul player than Sauce, ever.
Yeah, you've always known what you're going to get.
Yeah. I remember, what game was it? Was it St Kilda? I remember watching him. He was in the back line. He's gone up for a spoil, right? He had two defenders on him. He's gone up, spoiled the ball, gone to ground, recovered it. It's gone away, someone else has picked it up or whatever. And then he was on the other end, spoiling the fucking ball into wherever it was going, on the next kick, and then brought it back into where back into play. You ask Cripps to do that. Yeah, chase the ball, man. I dare you to chase the ball. That's what I'm saying. Why are we not holding these people accountable as if they're doing their best they can? Fuck off, they're not. Because we've seen the best they can do. Yeah. They did it last year. The first 10 seasons, man. Me and this guy went to that game. Which game was it? It was
Doggies.
Doggies, yeah.
It says he was sitting above us.
Exactly. Got the video of it too. It's the best. It's the fucking best. But you were so adamant about you turned around and said, "This is it. This is the start of the next chapter."
Yeah.
And we bought the belief.
Fuck, we're exciting to watch.
I was so pumped to go to games. I was so pumped to watch them. I didn't miss any games, man.
We were tough. We were brutal.
Yeah, the way that Carlton used to be, just formidable.
It was Voss. It was It was the powerful brand where the words actually matched up to what we were watching.
Yeah, and I've gone to a point where it's not fun to go to the footy anymore. The only reason I kept going this year was because I was seeing the group of friends that I'd catch up with, and then I'm like, this isn't worth it. Fuck it. I'll see my friends when I see them.
We'll go for coffee.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, nah, they're not getting another dollar out of me. They're not getting another fucking dollar out of me, man. I don't have private health insurance, but I re-upped my fucking membership and I kept going in. What am I doing? What am I doing? These people don't appreciate it. On the booing of the fucking players coming off the field, like that was massive. I think it was uncalled for. Not that it was undeserved, but it was uncalled for. That's how we all felt.
I get where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Like, I get it wasn't about the Essendon game.
Nah.
That was a build-up.
Yeah.
The part that kind of irks me is the guy filmed it while doing it.
Yeah.
So when you're filming it while doing it, you're doing it for attention.
100%. You're doing it to post it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the part that irks me. But now all of a sudden, you see the statements this week from the players, and it's like, mate, there was 25 people. Like, how many people do you think in that moment were saying things that were bad? I would dare say less than 10, if that.
Probably.
That went to that level.
You didn't hear many voices like at all.
So we can focus on the micro, the part where he said to Jack, you're a disgrace to your family. Like, you crossed the line. You shouldn't say that. Like, heat in the moment. But, like, don't get sucked into the micro. Like, what is it a byproduct of? Like, you know, you zoom out. And the club will get the players up to do media interviews and tell us that it's the wrong thing to do and it's disappointing that the minority do this. But people are like, imagine caring about something so much that you're willing to go that length and risk it all.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit you say to your family when you have a bad fight because you know, like, how much you love them. You know, and I don't know what the guy said. I looked at it more. I zoomed out. I'm like, what does it all actually mean in the grand scheme of things? And, you know, it's all good when that passion's there when we're winning and that guy is buying an extra membership or going to that interstate trip that he wouldn't normally go to because he's passionate. And then when it turns ugly, it looks like that.
I nearly bought a scarf. A new one.
You're an idiot.
Nearly.
I've been there.
It was, I know, I thought of you. I was walking outside Etihad, like I was getting to my seat. So I was coming off the train station, just walking past the booth thing. And my scarf was raggedy. I used to wear it to work. Like, it's fucking paper thin. I'm like, oh, maybe I remember seeing yours in the last video you get done. Like, maybe I should buy a new fresh one. $80-something. I'm like, yeah, nah. Fuck that.
$100. Do you know why I bought that one?
Yeah.
I felt guilty. I went to Sydney and I left my scarf in Melbourne. So I rocked up to the game without a scarf and I'm like, well, this is going to be embarrassing. I have to have my colours on.
I went to take a piss halfway through the game and I saw like the stand inside like Eddie had, like the actual merch thing. And I'm like, it was $85. I'm like, nah, fuck that. I haven't got that kind of money. I don't. To throw it away on a scarf. You out of your mind? These players can't be putting on the jumper, man. Why am I going to wear a scarf? Dude, it's come to a point, like, accountability is everything. And who was it that said it? Walls today. About Carlton having 9 coaches in 20 years. At what point can you start blaming the players?
You can't just keep sacking the coaches. And I don't think Brian Cook's that sort of operator. Like, he's been at Geelong with there's stability.
Yeah, they've had the same
Like,
coach.
I don't think...
How long's thing been in play now? Fucking at Geelong?
Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be 10 years or so.
It'd have to be over 10 years.
Well, he won in his first year, so 11.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, man. But that's the point. People are so quick to blame Voss, like straight off the bat. It's not Voss, man. This playing group has not changed that much since we first sat down and had a chat. Who's left? SPS.
No, that's the thing. The team from last year, which was exciting to watch.
Who's left? Other than what's his name? That
It's
went
not
to St
that
Kilda?
different.
It's not different.
Akers has come in.
Akers, Hollands,
yeah.
Yeah, and who did we lose? We lost, what's his name to St Kilda?
Stocker.
Yeah.
Oh, Stocker, yeah.
Stocker. All right, we lost Stocker.
Is he playing every week for him? Playing well.
Had a good year. Averages like 20 touches a game.
Of course he does.
Makes sense.
Just
Sounds about
unshackled from the shit show.
What the fuck happened? What happened? Was it just round 23? Did it just scar them?
It can't. It can't, man, because
It'll fucking drive you, doesn't it?
we've all
That's
played.
what I thought.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
We've all played sport to like some like competitive level. You know what I mean? It just pumps you. If you lose in a final or a prelim, It's like, fuck this, get into preseason or whatever. Even if you don't get into preseason and you turn up for the first game, you're pumped. You're jacked, like ready to go. It's like, we're going to do it this year. Fuck them. You know what I mean? It's like they don't care, man. They literally don't care.
I was thinking about it today. The season seems a lot more run and gun. Like it's a lot on turnovers and like springboarding and like we're fucking all about contested. But if it's not a contested game, we're fucked. Is that what's happened?
Well, they never work to get the game on their terms ever. They're always playing catch up, reactive footy. Once they start controlling the narrative, like they'll kick a goal and then they get up and about. And when they start linking up the ball, like when they start linking play up from centre to thing, they'll kick 4 goals in 4 minutes. And it's like, fuck, like this is Carlton.
But our goal kicking, so there's no confidence. Like even Charlie's missing now.
Yeah, it's
and he was like, he wouldn't miss.
It's gotten to everyone except Chera.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it that we needed to add a layer to the game because last year we would kick 8 1/4 and then hold on for dear life. We were just playing on emotion and just hold on for dear life, and it would be way too inconsistent. So I really do understand the whole notion of where the modern game's going. You've got to be able to kick the ball well. You've got to be able to control the tempo of the game, milk 5 minutes off the clock with each quarter and all of that. I really do understand that notion. Now, did we go too far into that? Maybe. Because now we don't have that freedom and that.
We became too good. Look at the wishful thinking here. Always the optimist. Nah.
You know what the formula is
for success? No, I don't.
This year? 8-2 to finish the season.
This year?
Calm down.
That's the only way we can make finals.
We're not making finals. Yeah. I've become resigned to that, man, a long time ago.
It's given me freedom.
Oh, dude. I think I said it to you or I can't remember who I said it to. I would have said it on either Fan Cams or Almost Blues or someone. I was at the Melbourne game and Gawn was lining up for that kick and like the one from outside 50 that he punched in that everyone freaked out over. Yeah. And I remember watching him line up, right? And I glanced at the scoreboard. We were less than 2 kicks behind. And I'm like, initially I thought if he misses it, we're still like 2 kicks. That's nothing. Like, and there's plenty of time on the board. If he kicks it, it's 3, but there's still a lot of time. And then I instantly just said to myself, nah, we're not going to win this. We're not going to come close. No chance. 2 goals from this group. Nah.
I think that's what's so frustrating. We're in games and we're winning so many of the key stats in games, but it's the goal kicking.
It's
killing
us. First time.
Destroying us.
First time ever I've opted to not go to a game when I could. When I used to turn up at quarter time just because I was running late from a job or something, but I'd always try and get there. I'd get up, turn it on, something just to watch it because I wanted to see what would happen. And I fully believe that we could have every chance to win it. First time ever I'm going to games and I'm just waiting to go home.
That's so sad.
That's pathetic, man. To go to a game, to see friends that I see only once a week, every couple of weeks, and to actively be waiting to leave. Happy to keep chatting to my mates. But like, if you told me, hey, let's just go get a meal or something somewhere, I'd be like, yes, I'm more than happy to get up and leave. It's disgusting, man.
I just can't do it. I just like a fucking train crash.
I
just can't turn it off. I can't stop watching.
I can't, man. I turned it off last week. I had it muted because I was playing on my phone and the sound was annoying me. Because I'd look up and like, oh, we kicked the goal. Oh, well done. And then like 3 more, like from Essendon. I'm like, fuck this. So I muted it. And then I realized, what am I even doing? I just switched off and put on Legionnaire, Van Dam. And I had that running in the background. I'm more than happy to hear a 90s Belgian actor speaking broken English than listen to commentating about Carlton's wasted opportunities. Oh, here's another behind from Kerno. Here's another behind from Harry. Like, why bother?
What are we doing?
Yeah. They don't deserve 90,000 paid up members.
No.
They don't.
It's all just club's too big for them.
Think about it.
It's too much.
Think about it, right? If you went to a game, right, and we lost by 3 goals, but you saw these guys hitting every tackle, like going for it, like just trying to turn it over, trying to win it back, trying to wrestle the game from the opposition, would you be angry? Like, would you feel gutted the way you feel now?
I fucking hate honourable losses.
No. An honourable loss week in, week out, right? You can't use that term. But knowing that you're doing everything you can, the talent's there. They're just not utilising it, right? For whatever reason.
Passion's not there.
Yeah. But the passion's not there. Exactly what Terry's saying. And that's what's annoying me. If you saw them actually busting guts and they're just getting outplayed because they're just not up to scratch, you have to hand it to them. Like, at least you fucking tried, man. But when you can't even say that, when you're watching dudes just jog by, it's like, are you even going to chase the ball down, man? What are you doing? Who are you waiting for? Are you waiting for Saad to run from the other side of the field to intercept something? Like, what are you waiting for? What are you actually waiting for? Run. No.
What's going on with Saad? I feel...
Oh, no, he's been neutered as well.
But so often I feel like I see him open and he's like he's got speed and he's beautiful kick, but he's ignored.
Yeah.
Well, they keep
Why is that happening?
They keep talking about internal division with the players. Yeah.
Well, the players are saying that they've never been more unified. But on the field, you watch the relationships.
It doesn't look
it's
like
a window. No, they're not all on the same page.
And fucking, who was it? That the ball flew right over. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Why are we... Why is Kerno leaving a ball for a small forward?
That play, Jack Silvani, beautiful kick inside 50, hit the target, lowered the eyes, and then Kerno's getting out of Owies' way. Owies is getting out of Kerno's way.
Kerno, you're the man. Fucking take it.
Or call him in. Say mine or yours. Like,
no one talks.
So how can you be... I don't know.
You watch these well-oiled machine teams, that just play on a dime, like Geelong, like the Richmond of the old, all that sort of shit. And you watch the link up between plays, synergy, connection. You know where other blokes are. You know what we do? The ball will come crumbling back. We'll go for a fucking floaty kick forward that just dribbles 4 meters off the target on the ground. And the guy's bending over, stopped running, bending over to pick it up, fumbles it, and then gets tackled into the ground. If they somehow miraculously recover it, they're instantly looking back to handball it back because they think someone's going to be behind them. But the problem is, when we used to do that a year ago, they'd look back, find the free player, and then it would move forward. Now, they just keep going back because they're waiting for the perfect guy to go forward.
And we turn it over.
Yeah, and then it's too much. You run out of players.
Predictable. The least stressful option is kick it to Charlie and Harry, and something will happen. They'll at least half the contest.
But even in those circumstances, your smalls aren't crumbing the ball.
Yeah, they're nowhere near
That's crazy to me.
Remember Santa's little helpers? Remember the three amigos, man? Like, you'd see Betts, you'd see Yaron, you'd see Garlett. They would crumb the fucking ball.
Yeah.
They'd run. What do these clowns do?
They're nowhere near it.
It's a paddock, like literally just bouncing it in free fall, like from the D50 up to the forward line, man. No one goes near it. You're telling me this is Voss's problem?
I thought when Voss came in, and I'm sure everyone expected the same, like we'd see such aggression.
We did.
Like they'd play like him.
We did.
And you hear from like Adelaide, like Matthew Nicks is like, if you're not going to have a crack, you will not play. And you see them, like they fucking crack in.
Dan Butler in the tribunal last night.
Yeah.
From the tackle. They said, what were you, why did you choose to tackle? And he said, because if I didn't, I would have been dropped.
Yeah.
In the tribunal.
Exactly.
It's my job.
Perfectly executed tackle, that too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I get apprehension. You remember when they started changing all the rules on the tackle and players were apprehensive to go in? That is an apprehension, like with Carlton. It's just straight out, like, disinterest. No interest in playing that hard ball, going for that hard ball get, man. They don't give a fuck.
What's the solution, boys?
Well, I was going to say, are we not hard enough? Are they not hard enough at the selection table? Or is Voss too friendly? Like what? Or do we have no players to fucking bring in?
Well, do you remember when they made that complaint? I can't remember who it was in the art. It was in one of the articles over the last couple of weeks. They said that Bolton had a formal complaint put against him because he was too mean to players. Bolton, the fucking leprechaun jockey.
When?
Same with Teague.
Teague!
Yeah, they had a meeting with the club.
When was this? When they were there?
After Brisbane. He went off his rocker Because it was Simo's 300th, 350th maybe.
Yeah.
Like lost badly, and he went off his rocker at him, and they're like, "Oh, we don't that sort of feedback doesn't really sit with us." And
Too mean. How soft and entitled do you want to be, man?
I mean, how different's the list now? It's all the same players then.
they are the modern player.
Look, I'm not expecting the
Yeah.
80s where like you get punched,
Yeah.
right? I'm not expecting that. But you're playing competitive sport with money that isn't yours, man. And like you're getting paid a fucking pretty penny. There are families like,
Yeah, that's the thing. They're getting rewarded.
yeah, remember that guy that called in to SCN who lost his shit? What was his name? He had
Snapper.
Maybe you should.
Maybe you should.
It's the fucking truth, man. It's legit truth. You know? Like, and I think about my situation, it's peanuts compared to, say, a family of 4 coming in from the eastern suburbs that want to go watch a game, man. Like, do you know what it costs to get a family down? Parking, food, like all that shit for a family to go to the footy, man. It costs money. It takes time. It takes effort. You know what I mean? Because it's not fun anymore to sit in the crowd and watch this listless display, knowing that you're putting money aside, time, effort, and these idiots that are representing you don't want to turn up themselves. I wish I could fucking play, man. I'm 38. I'm done. Like, there's no way I'll ever be able to play professional sport, ever. I wish I was like, 15 years younger and could have a chance to fucking play. And that's the problem. There are players out there that are in the same boat that are dying for their opportunities. Forget Dow, right? Like, we're talking about kids. Why would they want to come to Carlton? To what? Bust their balls in the VFL, waiting for what? Cripps to finally give the okay. Like, yeah, okay, let him in. And then watch him saunter around. If he's injured, like you said, if he's mentally unwell, whatever it is, come off, take a breather. There's no fucking shame in that. Take a knee, take some time, relinquish the captaincy, whatever it is you got to do to get yourself right and fit, because we want you to be well. But if he's got Paul and we're tap dancing around him and letting kids just, fucking rot in the VFL because he doesn't want to give him a go or whatever it is, or wants, you know what I mean? Like, where does it end?
The real leadership is knowing when to step away if you need to. Or say, hey, I just need a week.
Yeah.
But I get it. He's a competitor and pride and...
Fuck him. Pride's worth nothing when no one's there cheering for you, man.
Yeah.
The fans make it, the team. Like, that's what you got to remember. The fans make the team.
The fans are different to what the club is. I had this conversation with my sister last night, and Carlton right now is like this white-collar corporate
Which you never were. Never.
And the foundations of what made Carlton what it was blue-collar, ethnics, that European fire, flavour, the passion. And now what you're seeing is a club sending a message which resonates with corporate, which resonates with young people. But then it's like, once you become an adult, well, we know you're rusted on, so we know we're not going to lose you, so we don't really need to send a message to you. And, I mean, obviously with the channel, like, I'm really ingrained in who the fans are and what I'm seeing and who we are, and that ethnic, that fucking drive, that fucking passion, it doesn't resonate with what I hear and what I see from the club, with the way that they play. It's a couple of players that do it, with the way that they post, with the messages that they send, with the whole closed door policy, no more open training, none of that.
Closed door training, completely.
Closed door policy at the club. You can't just go in and watch training anymore.
At all?
No.
Really?
They have to put on a sanctioned open training.
Why? Who else does that? Is that common now? That spaced me completely.
I don't know. But like, as in you can go to the club, you can go to the cafe.
Yeah.
That's open. But you don't have the view of training like you used to because they've got the gym in between the cafe and the ground.
Okay.
It's quite symbolic when you think about it, because you used to be able to just go sit the cafe, window, and there's training you can watch from
Just
the
watch
cafe.
them run around, yeah.
Whereas now you can't actually go and enter the ground and watch them train anymore. I just think it's symbolic. You know, players, like, they don't, like, all messaging is around finding the positive instead of owning the reality. And like, I get it. You can't come out and say we're dog shit with those exact words. Lately, they've started to say the right things in the sense of like, oh, you know, the tackle count was unacceptable, or, you know, we're not good enough. But it's all just papering over, and it's all just, what's the word? Damage control.
If you don't have the balls to openly admit your weaknesses, then you're never going to fucking build on them. If you're just going to gloss over them and like, oh, but you know, contested possessions is high. Who gives a fuck, man? Who cares? Like King said, Voss did everything he could to create the opportunity to win. The players didn't take it upon themselves to actually convert that into points on the scoreboard. And then for them to come out at the end of the week and send a few players out with messages. Let's say, oh yeah, you know, we're hurting as well. Like, no, you're not, mate. You're not. You do not care, bro. It's water off a duck's back.
I remember, so when, I don't know if you know, one of our mates, Robbie Nahas, used to play. And I remember him when he was, I don't know whether it was at Richmond or North Melbourne at the time, and he said, because he knew how passionate Carlton was, and we were fucking shit. Then he goes, how long, like, when do you get over the game? Like, how long does it hurt for? I'm like, fucking all week, I'm burning. And he's like, come the Monday, like, we're done. Like, we forget about it, we're on to the next week. Like, we can't hang on to it.
Yeah, it's a business like that. Like, you've just got to cut it off and just move on.
Yeah.
You think they give a shit, dude?
Think they care?
Yeah.
They do care. The question is, do they care enough?
No one wants to be going out losing.
No.
And the pressure and the hate that comes from the media and the supporters, like, no one wants that.
And now they're probably hating the fans. Do you reckon they not hate the club? Hate's a strong word. But we're seeing the dysfunction of the club, right? In messaging and all these little things, puzzle pieces that we put together. If it's really dysfunctional and ego-driven and all of this conflicting interests and all of that, the players would be seeing it. Like, they're there to play footy at the club. They're probably saying, he's a fucking idiot. Well, you know, what's he trying to interfere with? You know, it's...
Okay, you know what the difference is, dude? Like, you know how we're talking about this division shit, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a professional athlete and you're hell-bent on winning, end of the day, it doesn't matter who you fucking play with, you just get the job done. All right? Like Chicago, man. Chicago Bulls, peak season, peak era, 95 to 98. You know what I mean? They played, Jordan and Pippen played against Rodman when he was part of the Detroit Bad Boys, and they used to beat the fuck out of each other every fucking time they played. And then they realized we need a power forward. We need someone to grab boards, crash boards and shit like that. Who do we get? I hear Rodman's on the outs. You got a problem playing with Rodman? No. Jackson literally approached Jordan and Pippen and said, do you have a problem with us approaching Rodman? If he's going to play his role, bring him in. And so they literally had a meeting with the three of them. And they said, do you guys have a problem playing with each other? No. Let's win some fucking finals. Three-peat. Back to back. 96, 97. And you see them on the court and they're literally holding each other up. Fucking backing each other up. Like, you watch the replays now, like, of old footage of Rodman, Pippen and Jordan playing. They didn't have a relationship outside of the game. But they were fucking champions and they fucking played. I never remember the name of the player. There were two major leaguers in the States. They used to play baseball, right? Like in the 60s or 50s, I can't remember when it was. And they fucking detested each other to the point where they didn't even want to speak. Like, they never even looked at each other. They were both batters, I think. But they developed such an intricate sign language like way of communicating because they didn't want to physically acknowledge each other. Like, they just had this feud. They're on the same team, but they had these subtle little movements, actions, hand signals, eye contact, all these things. They developed this system where they became unbeatable. And they said it's due to the fact that they just had this animosity. They didn't want to actually physically talk, so they just figured out a way to communicate without anyone actually seeing him communicate. They got it over the line, man. They did it. They did what they had to do to win.
That was Stengline and McLeod.
Stengline and McLeod.
Didn't talk for years.
Really?
On the same team, yep. Hated each other.
Yeah, and how'd they play?
Well, Crows are a pretty powerful team at that point.
That's my point.
Not every player's going to get on. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
But you're in a team, you got a job. Like, that is your job. That's your profession.
Figure it out, man. How many times have you sat down by a boss or a coach or someone and said, we don't care, just figure it out and do your job? But again, these idiots, and I take it back to the Gibberfish fucking podcast, right? These idiots have this inflated fucking ego and self-worth and entitlement. And they think they're untouchable. Like, It's Australian. Look, Australian football is a royalty in this country.
Yeah.
Right? They're royalty. Bert Newton's gone now, so that's it, right? The footballers now, right? But they just think, oh, we'll do a podcast and we'll get a fucking boot signage and someone will pick us up. Yeah, Carlton's gone to shit. Fuck them. St Kilda wants us. And they just think they're going to coast to the next job. Why is he laughing?
You're right. There's an inflated sense of self.
Yeah.
They leave Australia, no one knows who they are.
Who the fuck are you?
No one cares. Like, yeah, I think once maybe after you turn 30 and you're pretty much older than most of the list.
Yeah.
I think there's like a realization like, oh, they're not heroes.
Dude, Wayne Carey glassed someone in Vegas. If it was here, it would have been like all over the news. In America, it's like, an Australian glassed his missus.
6'4".
You know what I mean? Substance may have been involved. But do you know what I mean? But these, like I said, man, that's what annoys me about these stupid podcasts. It's like, mate, you're not kicking goals. Your job is to kick goals. Get off the fucking microphone. You're not Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
But that's like what I say about what Naha said. Monday comes, and they've switched on to the next week.
Yeah, but they forget. They forget to fucking train. They forget to kick.
Yeah.
You can't just switch on. Dude, if I fucking shit in the bed on Friday and I turned in a shit report at 4:30 on Friday, what do you think? I'm just going to clock off and just Monday's like, hey, how we doing? How's the new reports this week? It's like, what are you out of your mind? Come and see me in my office. If you want to be a fucking podcaster, by all means, Fox Studios is in South Bank. Go join fucking Kerry and the rest of them and Richo. But you know what? They were champions of the game before they got a job on fucking Fox.
Everyone wants to be Dylan Buckley now.
Yeah. And that's the thing, man. Dylan Buckley, I love Dylan Buckley, man. He was a gun. He had fucking fire. Bucks was a gun.
He was always going to get into the game. He was doing that discussions with Dylan.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Because
Loved it.
that was his personality, right? He didn't sit on a list and clog it for the next 20 years and waste everyone's time. He got done. He got moved to GWS or whoever it was, and then you never heard of him again.
Yeah.
But he started a production company.
Yeah, he's killing it.
We have an identity issue.
Yeah.
We have an identity issue.